are setting off on our summer holiday. We've got 2 weeks of sailing on the west coast. We're going to try to get to the Uists. 3rd year in a row we've tried to get to the Uists. Day 1 of our Uist exploration is heading to Tobermory. So we're going to aim for the Sound of Lyng, and then across the Firth of Flawn, and then up the Sound of Mull. We were hoping we would get 6 hours of tide, which would take us most of the way there. Going through the Doris Moor, well, going round the Doris Moor, really. Doris Moor's on the other side of these islands. We're at the top end of the Sound of Jura.
Yeah, look at this.
We've definitely got the tide with us. It's really choppy. I think it must be springs. We're zooming down the Sound of Lyng, or up the Sound of Lyng, and you can see all the whirlpools in the water. The wind's dropped a little bit, but we are doing 4.9 knots through the water, but 8.7 over the ground. I've come to the front of the boat to look for buoys and to look at all the swirly water. Well, we've made it to the lighthouse, nearly at the end of the Sound of Lyng, and I've not seen a single pot, so they've probably all been submerged. And behind me, there is the Clipper fleet. Is having a race back into Oban by the looks of it. On this side of the boat, you can just see the Sound of Mull appearing and Duart Castle. Doesn't look too bad up the Sound of Mull. Doesn't look like it's pouring with rain anyway. Beating up the Sound of Mull. That's the last little bit of our journey. We've got 7 miles to go, so we should be there. Time for tea. But it's the skipper's favourite point of sail, beating up the Sound of Mull. This is your idea of heaven.
This corner is where you win and lose races, by the fish farm. I think we're about to lose our race.
Just sailing past the fish farm, you can really see them jumping. Feeding time. Up there is Tobermory. Fingers crossed we'll get there sometime soon because the wind has died. Day 2 of our summer cruise, and it is rather beautiful.
Well, that's us out past Ardnamurchan, and we've got a northeasterly, which is a bit of luck, sailing towards just south of Canna at the moment. So that's north of where we want to go if we're heading to Eriskay. But anyway, if we get headed a bit later on, we can bear off. But we've got Ardnamurchan behind us, and then sort of off our starboard bow, we've got Canna, Rum's Hills in the clouds, Muck, and beyond them, Skye. Got a big ship behind us. It looks like it's turning to go north. Hopefully it's figured out that we're going straight on. Well, this camera makes it look a lot further away than it actually is.
There they are! Hello, dolphins! Evening stroll after tea, take the Pippi for a little wander and hopefully see a sunset. There's Jane in the harbour behind me and all the fishing boats, and we're going up here for a walk. Turns out the beach we wanted is down there. We've climbed up following the signs to the village, but we should have followed the signs to the ferry terminal. Hopefully tomorrow morning we'll go down. Looks good there. Beautiful evening. I think that's the end of the sunset. It's disappearing. I think we need to try and leg it back to the boat as well. She found the ball.
She has found the ball. The sun's shining, it's obviously a beautiful day. Fantastic little harbour. It's very easy to get into as long as you have a look at Clyde Cruising Club sailing directions or the Antares charts or something, because there's a few rocks on the way in, but it's lit. Although we didn't arrive at night time, but there's some lit leading lines, which would make it a lot easier if you wanted to approach at dark. So that would be straightforward. Lots of little houses, crofts, around the harbour, dotted around the harbour. Seems to be where all the local fishermen, the lobster and crab fishermen, keep their boats. And there's South Uist Sea Tours are based here as well. So I was chatting to the skipper of their boat last night, and they'd just been out to St Kilda. Took 2.5 hours, so that's fairly trucking from here. I was thinking it took us all day to get from Tobermory and 2.5 hours from here to St Kilda in his huge rib with twin 300 horsepower engines on the back. Anyway, that's a different kind of boating. But we got a couple of seals in behind. They've been, I think, I'm sure one of them was playing with the dinghy last night, because I heard the dinghy bouncing around. So the dinghy was tied on the back of the boat, and I think they were pushing it about. So, but they've been here since last night anyway, so they obviously footle around in the harbour, and I imagine the fishermen give them some treats from time to time. So yeah, beautiful spot. Absolutely beautiful spot. After our short stop at Eriskay, it was time to explore the east coast of South Uist, with our first overnight stay at Loch Einort.
Here we go. into Loch Einhort. It's all a bit narrow and a bit scary. This has taken a lot of navigation, but we're getting there. The skipper's got to concentrate, the dog wants to go ashore, and there's rocks and bits of seaweed everywhere.
That was quite interesting.
Interesting.
We had about a knot of tide with us, and that was meant to be slack. But we missed low water by about 25 minutes. So yeah, but it's very narrow.
It is very narrow. Plenty of depth, but very narrow. Yeah. So we're aiming for the anchorage over there. Aiming, but there's a great big shallow bit before it that comes right out, and one on the other side. But it is beautiful in here. Absolutely beautiful. What do you reckon, Pip? Is this going to be a good spot? Lots of wildlife. If we don't see an otter here, or an eagle, we're not trying. So we are here where the anchor is, and it's a 5-metre pool, and we're slap bang in the middle of it. And yeah, that was quite eventful.
With the anchor dug in, we went ashore so that we could fly the drone and capture the scenery and especially the entrance into the loch. As I was recording, I noticed a bird flying across the loch towards the drone, and you can imagine my surprise when, looking down at the screen, I came face to face with a young peregrine. Fortunately, it was only checking the drone out and not in full attack mode, which was a great relief as I was able to bring the drone back safely with no harm done to the bird or the drone. Well, good morning from a beautiful Loch Einhort. And the wind has changed direction, it's now southeasterly. Looks like there's a few clouds on the horizon. And we had to do an emergency repair on the dinghy last night because we had a small hole in it. So about 11 o'clock I think we got the patch on, so it's 7:30 this morning, so it's had 8 hours. I think it says that the cure time is 48 hours, so a bit quick. Anyway, we'll see if it holds, I'm sure it will. And at least it better, because Joe's gone ashore. Really nice quiet night here, perfectly still. Lots of seals swimming around the boat. A couple of peregrines mobbing anything of any size. That came in around the loch. So I think any self-respecting golden eagle's probably buggered off by now. We also saw a short-eared owl, which was quite exciting. It caught some sort of vole or something and then got mobbed by a load of hoodies. Still managed to get away, but yeah, unfortunately I did get a picture of it in the distance, but we were too busy watching it and I forgot about my camera.
Heading north up the coast of South Uist. I had to think where we were there for a minute. Just the Genoa out and a southeasterly. Very gentle, a little bit rocky because there's a bit of swell, but absolutely fine. Gonna see what happens today. I think we're aiming for Wizard's Pool, but I think it's a popular anchorage, so we might not get in there. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Pip is in disgrace. She brought 16 ticks on board. 16 little friends with her. No good, Pippy. Coming into Wizard Pool. Chile Beg on our right. To go round here, round the corner. Dog's coughing.
Well, what a difference 12 hours makes. We left Loch Einhort. It was a beautiful morning, and then it's just progressively got worse. And Scottish weather has unfortunately delivered again. So we're up in Loch Skiport. So we're up in Loch Skiport, heading our way up South Uist with a plan to go to Benbecula tomorrow, and it's just turned foul. So visibility is really poor. It's absolutely hammering it down with rain. It's pretty breezy. It's up, must be up around 25 knots, I would say. Gusting a bit more, probably a bit more than that. But really, we've just been hunkered down. So this is the Wizard Pool, which I'm sure is absolutely beautiful on a beautiful day. Wizard Island in the middle. But we can hardly see it. Okay then, doggy. We're going. Ugh. Right. So it's a really nice little landing spot actually here at the burn. There's a little inlet, and when the tide's in, it actually is filled really nicely. Don't know if you can hear me at all, but it's pretty windy. Anyway, here we go. Be nice to see it on a nicer day than this. It says, we don't love our dogs. Right, come on then, Pips, in you get. There's a good girl. Come on, in. Good girl. Oh. Right. There we go. And one little grassy pool. Got the big snubber on today. You wait. Wait, Pippi. That's it.
I would never have thought to row backwards.
Right, come on then, Pips. Up you come, there's a good girl. Well done. Right, did it.
You did it, well done.
Climbed to that little peak.
Oh, did you?
That one up there.
We've made a decision. We're carrying north. We're not chickening out and going back to Canna tomorrow. We're going to carry on up north. We're going to go to the Floddays, I think, tonight. No, we're not. We're going to go to Loch Maday, hopefully, tonight. We're going to go to the Floddays if we can't cope with the sea state out there. And then up to Talbot Harris. Impressive rocks in the entrance, some birds around. Going on an adventure. We're going to go and walk to the other side of the hill and see the Minch.
See the little Minch.
Because we haven't seen it all day, sailing up and down. Anyway, Andrew's going to try and get a picture of some rocks on the other side.
Well,
Pip's going to have a stretch of her legs. And I'm going to try and not get soaking wet. Apart from that, it should be fine. That way a little bit. There's Jane, just peeking out. And there's Loch Maddie behind. We're climbing up and over. Oh, there's a handful of deer there. We might not have made it yet, but it's quite impressive up here. It must be all the rain and the little rivers, I think, that eat the peat away. Look at that. That's what we've come looking for. Don't know if you can see Pip. Pip's already down there. Doesn't it look amazing?
I thought that was a really excellent walk. Yeah, through the heather, over the peat bogs, to the other side to see the crashing waves and a little minch.
Yeah, no, it was good, look.
And the stacks, and then we're back
We're back here.
to our little anchorage.
We really hope you've enjoyed this latest episode, and as you've got this far, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as it helps our channel reach new audiences. And please join us for our next episode, when we continue our sail up to Harris, and then across the north of Skye, before returning home.